So Huntress Wizard is going to play a big role in season 2. So how does it feel coming back in such a legacy role, but expanding on it for the new show?
It's really exciting. I've always been a big Adventure Time fan, and Huntress Wizard is such an iconic character, so knowing that I was going to step into her shoes was a little intimidating, but it was also really exciting because we're getting to see her, and specifically her relationship with Finn from her perspective, which is, I think, a really cool look into the character that we haven't really gotten to see before. So we're also going to see a little bit of her backstory in this season, which I think people are excited about. So yeah, I think fans are going to be really psyched about what we did with the character.
I think that's an interesting evolution, as I say, from Huntress Wizard's perspective, because so much of the early part of Adventure Time is Finn's just view of how he relates to girls and women, and then to flip this around to see Finn through the eyes of others.
Yeah.
I think I imagine that's a very meaty kind of additional incentive to get back into this role.
Yeah, it's really cool to get the other side of the story and to broaden out that experience. And I think, we've gotten sort of snapshots of Huntress Wizard, and in this season you're really getting to see kind of how guarded she is and how that affects her relationships with other people, including Finn. And I think it's fun to get to have Finn, who was such a central character, obviously, in Adventure Time, take a backseat, and you're getting to see storylines that you may not have seen in Adventure Time. Fionna and Cake gives the sort of opportunity and the space to be able to explore those characters.
So there's kind of parallel storylines going on with everything with Finn, and so how does Huntress Wizard end up with? Can you tease a little bit about how she ends up with Fionna and Cake?
So Finn is in a little bit of trouble in season 2, and Huntress Wizard's trying to help him and trying to find out how she can best help him. I'm trying to skirt around spoilers. So she's kind of not hopping through. So in the first season, there's a lot of multiverse hopping, and in season 2, she's hopping into different universes, but it's a little bit more existential and weird and subconscious and dreamlike. But basically, she arrives in Fionna and Cake's world trying to find a thing that can help Finn get better. And so Fionna and Cake kind of get roped along in her quest. And the relationships between those characters, I think, are really fun and interesting. You get new sides of all of them with the 3 of those characters interacting.
Is there anything particularly interesting that you, for Huntress Wizard, entering this sort of more modern urban kind of setting that you may have been excited to kind of just see that interaction with that kind of world?
Yeah, it's fun to see her in a context where she's not a wild animal, but she is a little bit like a wild animal. I mean, she can turn into a wild animal, certainly. So seeing her in this fairly metropolitan city is sort of a fun and funny color for her. But I think my favorite part of it really is how she interacts with Fionna and Cake, and sort of what those characters are going through and what they bring out in her, and vice versa.
So I had a press room earlier this weekend for another animated show, and they were talking about memorable recording experiences. So I'm just curious, what makes a recording session memorable for you?
Usually if something really funny happens, or / embarrassing, often they're the same thing. So for example, I can't whistle. I'm a really bad whistler, and there are a couple of moments in script where Huntress Wizard is supposed to whistle, and so I prime my director, I can't whistle very well, and so I did a really, really terrible one, and they were we're just going to use that, because it's funny. And it is also sort of a funny thing that this is such a capable woman that can turn into an eagle at will, and she can't properly whistle. It's a funny character element.
That would be a unique element from your own character. Are there other things from, I guess, your own, life that you feel really comes through in Huntress Wizard in this new season?
I think the thing that's relatable about Huntress Wizard and that I relate to specifically is it's hard for her to let people in, and it's hard for her to ask for help. So a big part of her journey with Fionna and Cake is she has this mission that she's dead set on helping Finn. But what happens if she finds out that she can't do that by herself? What is she willing to sacrifice? How far is she willing to go? I think it's kind of cool because there are a lot of high concept things happening, but the story itself is quite grounded and I think pretty relatable, which is like what would you be willing to do for the person that you care about the most? So yeah, I think even though she is a shape-shifting like plant creature kind of the story is very grounded.
If you had the ability to shapeshift, what would you shapeshift into most often, do you think?
I mean, it's such an obvious question, or obvious answer, I mean, but I feel like bird, right? Like, I want to know what it's like to fly, man. It must be so fun.
Yeah, anything winged, I think, just
Yeah.
probably not a bad idea. I guess, you already kind of like asked about like, is there anything that you can tease about the new, so is there, you don't have to get into specifics, but is there something that you really like, you can't wait for people to see and like, you'll be like, excited to like call everyone and say like, this is the episode you should be watching?
I think I'm most excited for fans to see the backstory that we put in about the Huntress Wizard, because I think that's something that fans have wanted for a little while. People that, like the Huntress Wizard and are curious about her. We're going to give some answers to questions that people have had. So I think that's exciting. So as an Adventure Time fan, I'm just excited for other Adventure Time fans to get to see that.
There are so many alternate universes in Adventure Time and everything.
Yes, there are.
Do you have a favorite one that like you would want to live in?
Oh. I mean, I feel like Ooh seems like the best one, doesn't it? In terms of like moral danger and magic and fun, probably, right? Because the one where everyone has a nose is is closer to, I feel like, the normal world, possibly.
It's sort of like a medieval, like
Yeah, which I feel like the possibility of your own mortality goes up. I feel like the lethality of that world is higher possibly than new. So I think I would probably just stay new and hang out with Big Mo. That would be my go-to.
I think Fionna Cake's world isn't so bad if you just maybe, a handful of the magic elements, right?
Yeah, right.
If we all had a magical cat.
Yeah.
Not a magical cat, a steady job.
Yeah.
I mean, steady work is in a world where you still have to pay rent.
Yes, right.
I just had something. Do you have anything else that you'd like to get in? Because I just lost my question.
Oh man, that happened to me twice yesterday, and I'm like, do you have a favorite episode of the original Adventure Time?
Oh man. Oh, that's hard. I mean, I love Simon and Marcy. I know it's like such an obvious choice, but it's so good. Also, I have a fondness for Jake the Brick. Kent Osborne, who is our head writer and voiced Jake's dad. That was his baby, and it's such a great, like, weird, out of pocket episode. And I love that one too.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.